How does Bible drill work? What are the different calls for the Bible drill? And how can I be studying at home? Find out in today's video. Hi, I'm Miss Nancy Ruth. I'm a children's minister and the co-founder of Parent Road Ministries. We want to see kids living for Jesus. In this series, we're learning memory verses, key passages, and the books of the Bible. Links to the full playlist and related resources are in the description below. Let's get started. First, let's look at the Bible calls so that you know what you're studying and preparing to do. Okay, there are 4 different calls in Bible drill. For some of them you will need your Bible, and for some of them you will not. Typically you stand with your fingers on the spine. This is the spine, these are the loose pages. You want your fingers on the spine, and you want to hold it at your side and stand up straight. And then the caller, the person giving the verses and things, will say something, and you're going to wait until they say start. Then you're going to open your Bible and find it in there, put your finger on it, and step forward when you know the answer. Okay, so let's practice. That's the format for a couple of these. First, let's do the books of the Bible, okay? You remember that Genesis is at the beginning of the Bible, Revelation is at the end of the Bible. Did you know that if you open your Bible in the middle, you'll get close to Psalms? In fact, I opened to Psalms right now. So keep those in mind. Let's practice. Ready? Genesis. Start. Okay, quick. Let me think. Genesis, and you don't talk out loud. I'm telling you what's in my head. Genesis at the beginning. Put my finger anywhere in the book, and I'm going to step forward. Now let's do one without talking. Revelation. Start. Ah, did you get it? Now you'll only have 10 seconds to step forward for it to count. So you have to get really good at finding these Bible books. That's why we practice, and we practice a lot. Okay? The second one where you will need your Bible is for the key passages. This is one of the key passages. This is the Christian armor. The Christian armor is found in Ephesians chapter 6, verses 10 through 20. Ephesians chapter 6, verses 10 through 20 is the Christian armor. Okay? This image will be available in the image packs available at parentroadmin.com. The links are below. Okay, so I'm going to hold my Bible on the spine, put it down, and then the collar's going to say, the Christian armor. And I have to think and remember where it's found. Then I have to find it in my Bible. Corinthians, Galatians, Ephesians, Philippians, Colossians, and it's in Ephesians 6, verse, there it is. I found it, put my finger somewhere in that passage, and I'm going to step forward. Then the callers might ask me to read a verse. Let's say they say, read verse 10. So I would say, finally be strengthened by the Lord and by his vast strength. Now this is the Christian Standard Bible, but these Bible drill materials we're putting out to go in partnership with Lifeway's curriculum are available in CSB, this one, the King James Version, and ESV. So all of the drills and practice reviews and games and materials are also available in there. Remember, this does not replace the Lifeway curriculum. It's designed to supplement. And this is not sponsored, by the way. Okay, so that's the key passages. For the memory verses, there's 2 ways those may be done. And again, I'm going to practice with the CSV, but it's available in all 3 versions. By Lifeway as well as our supplemental materials. So this is Psalm 54 verse 2. It says, God, hear my prayer, listen to the words of my mouth. So I would stand and I'd have my Bible with me, but I wouldn't need it. So I'm going to hold it on the spine and just stand at attention. And the caller might say, I already forgot where it's found, Psalm 54 2. And if I think I can recite it, then I step forward and I need to be able to say the whole verse and where it's found. Another way to do that, the second way that these verses are called is just the first part of the verse is said. So the caller would say, God, hear my prayer. And if I thought I could say the whole verse and where it's found, then I would step forward. Okay, that's the 2 ways. So the completion drill is when the caller just says the first part and I have to say the rest of it and where it's found. The reference drill is where they give the reference and I need to recite it. Or I think that's called the recite. I forgot if it's recite or reference drill. Okay, so that's what we're studying for. Here's some tips how to do it. One, you can take a list of all the verses. This is my scratch pad as I'm making these images, so it's a little messy. But it does have all the verses written out. So I can cut them up, fold them in half, and put them in a jar or a cup like this one. And every night at dinner or breakfast, I can pull one out and try to recite it. And you could put the whole verse in there. You could put the name of the key passage because you have to be able to know where it's found. You could put a Bible book. Oh, I forgot with the Bible books, you'll have to be able to say the book that comes before, that book, and the book after. So if I said Ephesians, you would have to find Ephesians in your Bible. Oops. And then when you step forward, they might ask you what book comes before that book and after. So I'd say Galatians, Ephesians, Philippians. Okay. So if you have Bible books in there, you would say the book before, that book, and the book after. You could do your key passages, just the title, and then you'd have to give the reference. Or you could also do just the first bit of the verse, and you'd have to complete it and say where it's found. That's study tip number 1. Number 2, if you're an active sports guy or a girl and you love basketball or something, you could do a take on that. So what you do is you take your basketball or your soccer ball or whatever, and you take turns. And you tell the person whose turn it is to shoot the ball, you give them a reference of a Bible verse or a book of the Bible or a key passage, and they have to say the right answer. If they get it right, then they can shoot a basket or try to make a goal. If not, they lose a turn. They have to go to the back of the line, and it's the next person's turn. That's a fun way to do it. Another way is just to race a friend with the beat the clock. So you both stand, and you have a third person that tells you a Bible book, like Matthew, and then they have to wait until you say start. And then the caller says start, and you have to race, and the first one to find Matthew says, got it. And if you beat your friend, you win. Okay? There are lots of other study tips available out there. Some of them are in the links below. Some of them are in the study guide that we've created for Bible Drill. All of these things are available, and your own creativity. What can you come up with to help you study?